What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and today we're looking at Blazing Vortex cards. We have a bunch of them here that have been revealed over the past couple of days or so, while in the TCG we're just getting ready for Phantom Rage. In the OCG it seems like they've gotten through a lot of the Blazing Vortex set so far. Still no Volcanic support, we'll have to wait and see, but there's some pretty cool cards in today's video that I wanted to take a look at. I do want to mention, just in case you missed it, yesterday I had a sponsored video with Konami where I opened an early box of Phantom Rage. Really cool stuff, and also I'm currently running a giveaway for Phantom Rage on my Twitter right now, so make sure to go check that out. It was a really fun video to make and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyway, in today's video, like I said, we're looking at some OCG reveals. If you like this content, please subscribe to show your support. It does help me out quite a bit. I know I used to not do a lot of OCG content, so I hope you guys don't mind it too much. I think it is fun to talk about. It's just in the past when there were TCG events going on, I just didn't have enough time to sort of not only be playtesting for regionals and YCSs and stuff like that, and then also on top of that look at new OCG reveals. Now though, without regionals and YCSs, I do have some extra time, so that's why you've seen more OCG videos the past couple of months. The first card here is Live Twin Lilla Treat, a Halloween themed version of Live Twin Lilla. This card is really cool, and I think what this goes to show is that they're willing to help out this archetype significantly, because while this card might not be super broken, I mean, it's a pretty good extender, but it's nothing too crazy. It is cool to see that Konami wants to support this archetype with more and more cards outside of just Genesis Impact, which is where the archetype is going to make its debut. So this is a level 2 dark zombie monster, and it's obviously a Halloween version of Lilla that we've seen in the past, which does make me wonder if we're going to get a Halloween themed version of Kiss a Kill, or if that card will be a different holiday sometime in the future. You can only special summon one card with the way written in this card names one effect per turn. If you control a Kiss a Kill monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. That text is kind of weird. That's like the OCG hard once per turn text, but yeah, that effect is pretty good. It's a free special summon. It puts another monster on the board, which is really good in this deck because you do want to sort of link climb or go through all of your link monsters on turn 1. The second effect here is when either player takes damage from a battle involving an evil twin monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to that battle damage. That second effect is not super relevant, but I think realistically the main reason you would play this card is for that special summon ability, so the second effect doesn't matter too much. All in all, is this card like broken for evil twins, live twins? Not really, but it is a decent special summon card that I would imagine people would play 3 copies of, just because it seems like the entire purpose of the evil twin / live twin archetype is getting link monsters on the board early and often, and this card will help you accomplish that. Next up, and this is completely out of nowhere, so out of the blue, we have a new Constellar monster. It's a level 4 light spellcaster monster with 1600 attack points and 1550 defense. It says if you control a Constellar monster other than this monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's pretty good, I suppose. If you are playing a Constellar deck, I guess you would play this card. I mean, who's playing Constellars nowadays? Maybe there's more support, I don't really know, but this is the only card revealed so far. And yeah, if you're playing a Constellar deck, having a free extender is pretty good. This card actually is pretty similar to that one we just looked at, where it's a free extender for an already existing archetype. The second effect is during your main phase, you can add one Constellar spell or trap from your deck to your hand, and finally a Constellar Xyz monster that has this card as material gains its effect. If this card battles a light or dark monster before damage calculation, you can banish that monster. The first effect is very good. The third effect is alright in some matchups. The second effect is a little bit tricky because right now we have 5 spells and 1 trap that all have Constellar in their name, and they're pretty bad. I mean, really bad. Like, so bad to the point where you probably wouldn't even want to play even a single copy of any of them, even knowing that you can add them to your hand for free with this new card. And I know that sounds crazy, but they're just so lackluster that I don't think people will play one copy of any of them, even if they can search it for free, just because drawing them without searching them is really, really bad. The next card is a new digital bug monster. monster. And digital bugs came out a long time ago. They were in Shining Victories, if I remember correctly, and I actually built a digital bug deck way back in the day. It was a lot of fun. Not very good, but they did have some good cards. Giga Brilliant into the rank 5 monster actually was a pretty popular combo in Burning Abyss Phantom Knight decks, but the actual digital bug archetype never really made it into competitive play. Cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon except for the Xyz summon of an insect monster, and it's a level 3 light insect. So already I think that's pretty on par with what we've seen with the digital bugs. They were all about Xyz summoning insect monsters. I will say here, it doesn't mention not being able to be used for other material, so you can use it for link material just fine. It's only when you start Xyz summoning that it has to be used for an Xyz summon of an insect monster. Anyway, the first effect here is when you normal summon a level 3 insect monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can make the levels of this card and that monster become 5 or 7. So in the digital bug archetype, you have a rank 3, 5, and 7 monsters, so that's why it does that. And yeah, that's pretty good. It might help you out with some bigger Xyz summons. The second effect here says if this card is special summoned from the hand, which usually would happen with its own effect, you can change the battle position of one insect monster you control. If you don't know what the digital bugs do, that second effect probably sounds pretty random, but basically there's digital bug Centibit, which is an older digital bug, and that one, when it's changed from attack mode to defense mode, special summons a level 3 insect right from your deck. And it doesn't even have to be a digital bug monster. So in the past, I believe I even built an Inzektor digital bug deck because you could special summon Dragonfly or Centipede from your deck with digital bug Centibit. Okay, so I'm editing the video right now and I totally forgot, and maybe I never really even realized, that they printed a digital bug in Maximum Crisis as another form of legacy support for this deck. This one also triggers when it is switched from attack mode to defense mode, but instead of special summoning a level 3 insect, it adds a level 3 insect to your hand. That does make this new card a lot better, because now you have 6 copies of cards in your deck that have trigger effects that activate when they're changed from attack mode to defense mode. In the past, you would use digital bug Spider to switch the digital bug Centibit to defense mode, and then you could special summon a digital bug from your hand while also triggering the Centibit effect to special summon a monster right from your deck. That put 4 monsters on the field that you could turn into Xyz monsters or whatever, and maybe pull off some pretty powerful combos. The part that wasn't so great was that these cards didn't really have a lot of special summoning effects unless they were already on the field, which meant in that version I played Brilliant Fusion to try to get to extra normal summons. With this card though, you actually could probably play a casual digital bug deck, probably not a competitive deck even with this card, but it is a pretty good piece of legacy support. The final effect here, so all of the digital bugs gave your Xyz monsters like bonus abilities. This one says an Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect. It gains 1000 attack and defense. That might not sound significant, but it actually is pretty good. The other digital bug bonuses aren't too bad, and this actually might help out quite a lot just by making the Xyz monster a lot bigger. I know this card seems kind of random, but I actually do think it's pretty cool, not only for digital bug players, if those exist. I mean, I feel like I'm saying that about a couple different cards in today's video. We don't really have a lot of Constellar players, probably don't have a lot of digital bug players either, but if you are someone that is looking to play Inzektors with the new spell card, we now know it'll be a spell card as Konami has been doing the create a card poll for 2020 on Twitter and stuff. This card might actually be pretty good in that deck. At this point, we have no clue what the spell does. Maybe it restricts you to only special summoning Inzektor monsters, in which case this card would not be very good. But at this moment, without knowing the spell effect, but while knowing that we will get a new piece of support, it does seem pretty darn good. Was that little stick bug video playing the entire time I was reading this card and I just didn't notice? Finally, we have Miradora Skywing of the Whirlwinds. This one was actually like just revealed not too long ago, like less than 24 hours. So this is a new sort of hand trap dragon monster, very interesting. Level 7 wind dragon that says you can only use each effect among the 1 and 2 effects with this card's name only once per turn. The 1 and 2 effects with this card's name cannot be negated. Also, those effects activations cannot be negated. The 1 effect is if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters with 2,000 or more attack from the extra deck, you can special summon this card from your hand. Second, if this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck. That target cannot activate its effects while this card is face up in the monster zone. Because this card, when summoned, prevents the monster that you target from activating its effects, it doesn't actually negate activations that have already happened. So if your opponent summons an extra deck monster with an on summon effect, this card actually is very, very bad because it won't stop that on summon ability. It only prevents activations. It doesn't negate cards that have already activated. It does put a body on the field, a 2,000 attack monster level 7, so you could maybe do some plays with that. And also it can't be negated, which might come in handy in certain matchups. That part actually is the most appealing part of this card, the part where you can't negate it, because with some hand traps, your opponent summons like an Appaloosa or a Herald of the Arclight, now they can just stop whatever hand traps you have, but with this card that won't happen. You can just use it whenever you want and it'll always work, which is pretty cool. As a generic hand trap, maybe this card isn't as good as cards like Valor or Impermanence or whatever, but if you really value the stat line of level 7 Wind and Dragon, maybe then this card becomes a little bit more appealing. It does work really well with Tempest, for example, which can not only search this card, but also you could overlay the 2 monsters for a rank 7 Xyz monster. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's discussion. Make sure to check out my giveaway on Twitter, as well as the original box opening of Phantom Rage. Anyway though, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.